Good, happy Wednesday morning, September 25th, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Custer Pappas back U.S. House inquire into possible Trump impeachment. GOP calls it partisan attack. Political fallout likely to have major impact on 2020 presidential primary, New Hampshire general election races. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
The Honda CR-V is perfect for people from all walks of life. From the daydreamers to the night riders, and the carpoolers to the lone wolves. Let's not forget the young ones, and those young at heart. No wonder people made the CR-V the best-selling CUV in its class. Hurry to your Honda dealer during the #1 CR-V event and get a great deal today.
As the House launches a formal impeachment inquiry in Washington, reactions are pouring in from across the country and from those in the first-in-the-nation state.
I definitely think that the House should be investigating all of the allegations against the president.
Representative Annie Custer has spoken in favor of an impeachment inquiry since July, but says she feels even more strongly now after President Trump reportedly urged Ukraine's president to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter.
This is a serious charge of misuse of power by the President of the United States, and it's our job under the Constitution to investigate that.
Congressman Chris Pappas, also a Democrat, has also spoken in favor of an impeachment probe. But Republicans say it's a waste of time.
Our economy is booming, and let's get back to the business of governing and doing the work for the people instead of this perpetual impeachment, this perpetual fishing expedition.
State Representative Fred Doucette of Salem is co-chair of Trump's 2020 campaign here in New Hampshire. He believes an impeachment probe will do one thing.
It's going to reflect negatively in the end on the Democrats, and I welcome that. I welcome that.
WMUR political reporter John DeStaso says, regardless of which side you're on, the probe will become one of the defining issues for 2020.
Certainly in the general election, when the nominee is chosen and President Trump, unless he happens to be removed from office, which is unlikely, when they face off, this will be a major part of that presidential election.
And DeStaso says this won't just affect the presidential election. It's likely impeachment will now become a major issue in the races for both New Hampshire's House seats and a Senate seat, all currently held by Democrats.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Mega Millions jackpot winner claims $168 million prize from July. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
At Wentworth Douglas Hospital, community is at the heart of everything we do. That's why we're expanding our Portsmouth outpatient.
Well, tonight, the winner of a Mega Millions ticket sold in Exeter and worth $168 million has claimed their prize. New Hampshire lottery officials say the person bought the ticket at Brookside Market in Delhi back in July. They say the winner, who wishes to remain anonymous, chose the cash option of $108.5 million. It's the first Mega Millions win in the Granite State.
Okay, and there you go on that video. Congratulations to the winner. Couple charged after domestic incident in Concord. Woman allegedly tried to run down man while children were in car. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The Honda CR-V is perfect for people from all walks of life. From the daydreamers to the night riders, and the carpoolers to the lone wolves. Let's not forget the young ones, and those young at heart. No wonder people made the CR-V the best-selling CUV in its class. Hurry to your Honda dealer during the #1 CR-V event and get a great deal today.
A Concord woman is accused of trying to run over her boyfriend with 2 young children in her car. Police say Ronald Perone allegedly assaulted Ashley Zachary with a phone during an argument. That's when police say Perone took off, with Zachary driving after him. The couple was arrested at a home on Rumford Street. Both face several charges.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Three-vehicle crash reported on Loudon Road. Concord police and firefighters were called to the intersection with Airport Road and Hazen Drive. A 3-vehicle accident was reported on Loudon Road at the intersection of Airport Road and Hazen Drive Tuesday. Police arrived first at the scene of the collision between an SUV, a sedan, and another sedan at just before 7:30 p.m. Firefighters arrived later and cleared the scene after everyone was checked out and found to be without serious injuries. And here is a photo from the crash scene. Take a look. And here's that photo, as you can see. We're happy everyone is okay and no serious injuries. Derry teen recovering in Boston hospital after part of a tree fell on him at Derry Park. Friends with him at the time set up a GoFundMe page to help with medical expenses. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
Mrs. Smith, we got your water test results back.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so your arsenic levels are really high.
This happened right here at the Alexander Carr Park here in Derry. A simple walk home from school quickly turned into an emergency. That walk happened along this wooded path, 4 friends just looking to have fun.
We all saw this dead tree, and we started shaking it.
But that tree snapped in half and fell on top of 13-year-old Kevin Lopez.
The tree hit him, and then he just fell to the ground.
The piece that fell onto Kevin was 6 feet long, weighing 30 pounds.
He ended up having a seizure on the ground.
Corinne Kyle called 911. They felt for his pulse and picked him up off the ground.
My phone actually died in the middle of calling 911. So we just kind of followed where we heard the sirens. So we carried him up the hill. And it was really intense when we got there.
Kevin is now recovering at a Boston hospital. His brother Danny says seeing him for the first time after this accident was hard.
He was literally just asleep and he was unconscious.
Danny says Kevin has a serious brain injury and it will take 6 months for him to recover. He says he's grateful for the quick action by Kevin's friends.
If they weren't there, then would have been dead.
They also started a GoFundMe page to help with medical expenses.
It's at $1,535 right now, just from so many people being so nice and they have such a big heart, and I want to thank all of them for donating as well.
If you would like to help Kevin and his family during this difficult time, head to our website, WMUR.com. You can find a link to the GoFundMe page there. Reporting in Derry, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And our thoughts and prayers go to that Derry teen, his family, and friends. Group comes together in Manchester, proposed program to curb teen vaping. Catholic Medical Center, Breath, New Hampshire, and Making It Happen proposed vaping safe program. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Charisse LeClaire.
Ew! This water smells.
Smelly water is ew. It can be more serious than just the smell. At Capital Well Clean Water Center, we get the ew out of the water and make it.
Well, Tom, the CMC and several other groups are now working together to try and implement a program in schools citywide as teen vaping continues to increase.
We've continued to see an increase in the youth vaping rates in the community.
A school board committee voted unanimously to allow a program designed to curb vaping to go forward. It would entail young people, with the group Making It Happen, along with CMC and nonprofit Breathe New Hampshire, to speak to their peers and younger students about the dangers of vaping.
They really think that it's harmless, it's safer, it's water vapor. So there's a lot of myths out there.
It comes in the midst of a public health emergency. Today, Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker making his state the first to completely ban vaping products until January, allowing health officials time to figure out what's behind multiple deaths and injuries across the country. According to the CDC, 9 people have died, 3 in the last week. 530 lung illnesses reported, but health officials estimate that number could be far higher. None of the deaths so far have been in New Hampshire.
We haven't seen the cases that we've seen across the country, but we're certainly concerned because of the unknown nature of what's causing these illnesses.
Health officials are urging people not to buy vaping products off of the streets or alter them in any way. Here in Manchester, they're hoping this program for teens will help curb usage.
If we can prevent any kid from beginning to start vaping, we've been successful.
And that group is hoping to meet with parents citywide in a meeting in October. Live in Manchester, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester homeless shelter changes some services as number seeking help grows. Lunch, laundry will only be provided to those using supportive services. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
The Honda CR-V is perfect for people from all walks of life. From the daydreamers to the night riders, and the carpoolers to the lone wolves. Let's not forget the young ones, and those young at heart. No wonder people made the CR-V the best-selling CUV in its class. Hurry to your Honda dealer during the #1 CR-V event and get a great deal today.
This
is a public health crisis. There's no doubt in my mind.
Chief Operating Officer Stephanie Savard says her staff is struggling to keep up with the demand of a fast-growing homeless population in Manchester.
We have had a significant rise in the number of folks who need services, shelter services in particular, and as a result, our facility and our staffing capacity has really hit a maximum.
This time last year, the shelter averaged 86 people per night. Now it's beyond its capacity of 108 beds and is sheltering more than 130 people every night. Extremely high numbers for this season, which is typically quiet. And all the more concerning for what may come during the busy winter months as more people head indoors.
We've had to make some really difficult decisions as a result.
Starting October 1st, the shelter's resource program, which provides access to lunch, restrooms, and laundry, will only be offered to individuals who are engaged in its supportive services. New Horizons will also cap the number of people for overnight stays to 108. Short-term funding is allowing for 30 additional overflow mattresses, but only for the winter months.
We're only one organization, and we are really needing additional support. We can do what we can do and do it well, but we need to take other providers, other agencies to really come in and say, what can we all do together in this community to address the issue?
Now, as for what's behind the increase, the shelter says there are really a couple different factors coming into play. Everything from substance abuse to referrals from all throughout New Hampshire. Now, right now, the city and state are working to figure out how to bring resources here to help decrease those numbers. Reporting live in Manchester, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. WBZ launches CBSN Boston new 24/7 local streaming network. Let's take a listen to this video from WBZ News.
On your phone, your computer or tablet, and yes, even your TV. Your local news, breaking news, and weather are now just a tap or a click away.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Ana Ritis Rodriguez.
It's easy and it's free. On CBSBoston.com, you'll be instantly connected to CBSN Boston in the video player at the top of the page. You can also watch by downloading the free CBS News app.
It's always on. So anytime there's breaking news in the marketplace, if somebody wants to find out what's going on, they can watch CBSN and we'll be covering the story.
During the week, we will be streaming our regularly scheduled newscast from WBZ News with additional CBSN Boston newscast at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 8 p.m.
We were the first TV station in Boston. We started broadcasting in June of 1948. WBZ is the most watched TV station in Boston, and we're certainly a trusted source of news and information. I think that same standard of excellence is going to exist on CBSN as it does on WBZ TV.
CBS first launched the online news service CBSN in 2014, a first among broadcast news outlets. CBSN Boston now joins the exclusive digital lineup of CBSN, CBSN New York, and CBSN Los Angeles.
Okay, and there you go. Very cool indeed. U.S. features point to a higher open on Wall Street. U.S. stocks were slightly higher Wednesday morning. Nancy Pelosi demands full whistleblower complaint. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
President Trump dismissing the investigation, calling it another witch hunt, saying he will release the transcript of that phone call with the president of Ukraine tomorrow, calling the phone call perfect. But it's more than just that call. Will Congress see the whistleblower's complaint that triggered all of this? And tonight, news of a phone call between President Trump and Speaker Pelosi just today. ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl with what he's learned tonight.
Today, President Trump announced he will release the full and unredacted transcript of his phone call with the president of Ukraine, saying it will prove he did nothing wrong.
When you see the call, when you see the readout of the call, which I assume you'll see at some point, you'll understand. That call was perfect. There was no pressure put on them whatsoever.
But Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi has made it clear she wants more. She wants the president to release the full whistleblower complaint that the intelligence community's inspector general said was credible and of urgent concern. Speaker Pelosi revealed the president actually called her this morning.
Yeah, well, it called to talk about gun violence, and then it segued into other things.
Can you give us an indication of what those other things are?
Not right now.
A Democratic source tells ABC News the president told Speaker Pelosi he had nothing to do with the decision of his own administration to block Congress from seeing the whistleblower complaint. Pelosi responded, then undo it. The president is sounding off on the Ukraine controversy with an echo of what he said over and over again about the special counsel investigation.
I think it's ridiculous. It's a witch hunt.
As for the prospect of impeachment,
if she does that, they all say that's a positive for me from the election.
John Karl with us here in New York because the president has been at the UN here in New York City as well. And we know the president promising to release that transcript tomorrow, but Speaker Pelosi wants the whistleblower's complaint. And in a rare move late today, Senate Republicans, John, said they want this too.
In fact, David, the entire Senate voted 100-0 to call on the Trump administration to turn that whistleblower complaint over to the intelligence committees. And in another twist today, House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff says that he has been contacted by a lawyer for the whistleblower. The whistleblower wants to appear before Congress.
The whistleblower now wants to come forward.
Could happen as soon as next week.
All right, stay tuned on that front as well, John. Thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this Wednesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.